What's going on, everybody? It's yours truly, Myhzo Fashaw, coming to you live with another episode of Alphacology. And I have my main man, Myhzo. All right. From, what's your brand?
We got Fresh Division
Fresh
and we got
Division.
Fresco Kaya.
Fresco Kaya. See, I was trying to remember the Well, it ain't new, but.
Well, Fresco new. Fresh
Fresco-
Division is the foundation, but
Fresh-
Fresco pretty new.
Okay, Fresco Division, man. And like I said before, man, he is a connoisseur, all right, of the culture. And I really respect this brother, man. We did a great podcast on the Sinners podcast. And he told me, I call him Mr. Medicine in the Candy. So, like I always say, man, this is not tea, it's protein. And I want you guys to understand, like, take what we saying and do your research, figure it out, figure something out for yourself. But like I said, we want to be the most alpha male versions of ourselves, the alpha female versions of ourselves on here on the Alphacology Network podcast. And I gotta say this again. I don't know if I ever gave you a flowers, but I appreciate you, man.
Oh,
and I've seen some beautiful stuff that you was doing lately with the customized denim jackets.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm working on getting me one.
For sure.
I'm trying to get that Alphacology symbol on the back.
Oh
of the
yeah,
jacket.
that's gonna be fire. That's
Man,
gonna be fire.
it's gonna be fire, and I know it's gonna take some time, but I'm gonna get it.
Okay.
And the thing about it is, I always want you guys to know that we're doing the work, we putting in, and we're very intentional on here on Alphacology podcast, man. We just trying to draw these gems, let you guys know what we're doing. And today, I wanted to. We was always supposed to do this, right? About two topics that's near and dear to my heart, and I was trying to put them together to see where we're going in the nation of the United States of America. Whatever this science experiment is. And I'm gonna tell you like this, bro.
Yeah. What's that?
Karmelo Anthony case.
Yeah.
Didn't like it. Now we got this new situation. They always throwing something at us with what's his name?
Nolan Wells.
Mr. Wells, right? I'm just gonna tell you like this. When we talked, and I said, man, that was crazy. On Juneteenth, we talked about the Karmelo Anthony situation. And I think a day or the same day, they dropped some bombs on us about the verdict or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I was just like, now why would they do this on Juneteenth?
Mm-hmm. I remember now.
And it's like every time Black Americans try to gain momentum, they throw something at us.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see black people. I want to say Black Americans. Because me personally, we're going to do a podcast about this. When my boy get here from the foundational report about foundational Black
Oh, okay.
Americans.
Can I be on
All right, go on, strike first blood.
Okay.
You gotta be on here because I need somebody with some a Pan African background.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I need somebody with an FBA background to come and share. I would say share and have a friendly debate.
Yeah, I think that's a conversation that we need to have. I mean, that's a conversation that Black people need to have to make sure that we're on the same page and make sure that we advocates for one another. But don't want to get too deep into it. But yeah, we need to.
Yeah.
Black people, we share a common struggle, so we need to. We're more powerful together than we are apart. I just put it like that.
So I just felt like, and I seen it online, and I felt the energy of when Black Americans, because I looked at it, bro, I looked at this, and I posted it on my pages, and I said, the Juneteenth flag is red, white, and blue, but it's always red, green, and black. And some people was receptive of it, and some people wasn't receptive of it. So it was still some Pan-Africanism background.
Yeah.
and I'm going to jump on this real quick, real briefly.
Okay.
I was called in because my job as a teacher, a history teacher at that,
Yeah.
I was called in to speak to a group of students about foundational Black Americans.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I had to tell them there is a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to tell them there's a difference. And I had to tell them it's no animosity,
Mm-hmm.
even though online is perpetuated as animosity. So we'll do our research on that. But as of right now, I'm gonna take this time to say we're gonna go forward with this podcast as it's a black thing.
For sure.
And when I say it's a black thing, that means the diaspora
Yep. There you go.
and the South America.
Yes, sir.
And the North America.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, because I know how you look at it. You always look at it like this: white man versus black man. At the end of the day, and when we looking at it like this, whether we like it or not, FBA gonna be in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So, the Karmelo Anthony situation, I felt like they were sending a message, and the message was very clear. If you kill white people, you will not be, prosecuted fairly
Yeah.
and to the fullest extent of the law. Whether you're in a state with stand your ground laws or not.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have stand your ground laws, your ass is grass. So what are the stand your ground laws for if we can't use them?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? As a black man, whether whatever your culture is,
Yeah.
as a black man, what's the use if you can't use the stand your ground law?
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing because from that case, it made me look into the laws of the state, and of course, black people, we need to make sure we up on our game and we know all the facts before we go into any situation. And because what I learned is with that Karmelo Anthony case in regards to self-defense, I think the caveat was it has to be equal force, and I think that's according to the court case, Karmelo did not display equal force. It was a push versus a stab, unfortunately, and I think that's another thing because had it been another person of another complexion, it might not have went the same. But since it was Karmelo Anthony, since he was black, and he retaliated the way he did, that's what they caught him up on.
All right,
because
so
it wasn't equal force. Versus in Florida, that stand your ground law is different because that's where old boy got.
Okay, so and I know who you talking about, old boy, Travis Rudolph. We gonna say his name. He somebody came to his house, a group of young men came to his house trying to fight him, and he ran outside with a gun and gunned them down. And later they found that one of the guys had a gun on him. Now Travis Rudolph did say that the boy pointed the gun at him. And so they actually found the gun. Now if they didn't find the gun, his ass would be grass.
Right? I was talking about Zimmerman.
Oh, so you talking about the Zimmerman?
Because
case.
Zimmerman got off on stand your ground, and he didn't show the same equal force. Because like I said, in Texas, you're supposed to show equal force, but in Florida, he didn't show the same force.
Yeah, no, Florida's a totally different state.
Wow, exactly. Yeah.
So, what I would tell my young black man is, whatever state you plan on moving to or living in, you better know they stand your ground laws.
Yeah.
You gotta know their laws. You gotta know the law. They don't do a good job in public school education of getting you the law. They give you the basics.
Yeah.
But they don't teach you how to stay out of jail or what's illegal and what's not illegal. That's what they're banking on. And I'll touch on that a little bit later. But I think the Karmelo Anthony situation wakes us up. Even though, and this is what I love. even though they're trying to send a message, even if you send that message and we say that's unfair, as a black man, that's unfair. We still can adjust to the environment. We adapt to our environment. So now I know, if you push me, I can't stab you.
Yeah,
But in some states, if you push me, that's an act of aggression.
for sure.
And yes, you could die from a push if it's in the right circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
You know that, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I can stab you in certain states, even though we're not talking about really stabbing, but it's just the fact that we're putting in the scenarios, and which is a tricky situation because I don't want to talk about what you can do violently and what you can't do. Then now we demonetize and we all that. So that's why it was hard. It was hard for me to do. I'm like, dang. But I want to all I can say is understand the laws.
yeah,
Get with somebody who care about you enough to understand the laws.
yeah, yeah,
That's the first thing I want to let black men know,
for sure.
bro. That I'll get with somebody, lawyer or who or not, they can understand the laws, bro, because that's what's gonna save you
There you
if
go.
you're in that
Yeah.
situation.
And then if you know the laws, you will know how to adjust your ego. And I know we might talk about this later on, but I think that's the main thing is knowing how to react in these situations, knowing and understanding when you're the aggressor and when you think you might be the victim. Because with those two things and knowing the law and where you're at, that can make or break you. Like I said, it was unfortunate what happened in the Karmelo Anthony case. I think I think he's gonna be retried, which is amazing. Because I think once they retry it, they'll be able to, Karmelo will be able to get more justification on his character, his background, for a jury trial. So we'll see how that comes out. But yeah, definitely we have to know your laws. Because I know I am of the case where I'm always on the defense. I will never be the aggressor. I will always be on the defensive side. I will never be the first to put my hands on someone. I'm always I will react.
So that's what I was saying. I like what you said, and you could defend yourself and stand your ground, state. I don't know if they got that point across because in a heightened state of emergency, it's fight or flight. And we both know, I done been in a situation where a push came and then a punch came.
Yeah.
And I know a punch can kill you. A punch is definitely an act of violence. It upgrades from an act of aggression to an act of violence.
Yeah.
So a punch can definitely,
for sure,
put you in a ICU more than a push can. And after a punch could come a stab. I get it. So I don't know. I didn't want to look into it because the more I looked into it, because I don't think I looked into it in the lens of how they looked into it, which is messed up. Because at this point, the cat's out the bag. He was found guilty. He get 35 years. They gotta do the retrial. So we're gonna see how it plays out.
Yeah.
But I do want people to understand. I do want my young black men to understand. You never want to put yourself in that situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want you to ever think you gotta stab anybody or fight anybody. It's okay to walk. I keep saying this, and I'll say it again. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to walk away.
Yeah. And that's what I be preaching on in regards to like our egos. Like it's okay to walk away. Like shouldn't let your ego be too big where you have to think you defend yourself when it's not necessary, when it's not called for. Like regardless of that situation, because not even speaking on that situation, but in general, as far as verbal intercourse or verbal confrontation or verbal sparring, there should be damn near nothing that somebody can verbally tell you to put your hands on. Because once you do that off of like verbal confrontation or verbal disrespect, that's when it can turn deadly, and that's when you can't predict how the outcome is going to be. And like I said, you got to be mature enough to walk away. But again, if you're in high school, you're still developing your brain. Your frontal lobe ain't even developed yet. You got an ego. You think girls around. Reputation. So unfortunately, you might do some dumb shit.
Yeah. So that's another thing. I do believe at some point, even when you have kids, there's certain things you can't control.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard for me. That's the scary part. When people say, I'm going to have kids, I get it. Because there's certain things like, what were you thinking? Did I not brief you on this enough?
Mm-hmm.
Did I not take it? So I understand when parents get to a certain level and my mom is doing too much. She grounded me because I did this. It's because we need you in a certain mind state to understand that there will be consequences for your actions.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, he's in a situation where he's younger.
Mm-hmm.
Your frontal lobe is not developed like it needs to be. But nobody you never understood the consequences of your actions.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the other guys, you don't put your hands on anybody. And I always say this, because I used to be a track coach.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody under our tent, kids hang out under the tent, and I tell them, hey, watch yourself, because I might be out there coaching.
Yeah.
If something go down, come get me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as soon as you make that decision to not come get me, to rectify the situation, and you put matters into your own hand, it could go left.
Mm-hmm.
It could go left.
Yeah.
Now we in a situation where, damn, it ain't have to be like this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's everywhere. And then I tell that too when I coach football, like, all it takes is 30 seconds and your whole life can change.
For sure.
Now you fighting for your freedom.
For sure.
Off a 30-second decision. One decision can mess up your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
One decision.
Yeah.
So I look at it like this. Which brings me back. Like, how should the young black men should move throughout the American society today?
Mm-hmm.
The things are rapidly changing.
Yeah.
From economics to laws,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we see it, and they keep throwing it in our face, and we have to adapt faster and faster.
Mm-hmm.
So me being the age I am and working with the age group I work with, I have to tell them, hey, the laws that I grew up with are totally different.
Mm-hmm.
I remember they used to throw people in jail for 10 years and try to throw 10 years on them for two blunts.
Mm-hmm.
They can't do that no more.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta understand the new laws.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be made.
Yeah.
And I want people to understand this. I want people to understand that the less people that end up going to jail, yes, that's a good thing, but it's a bad thing to certain people.
Yeah.
And they're gonna try to change their laws to keep as many black men in jail as possible.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think what I tell my young boys and like the people that I've mentored or whatever is two main things. One of them is, to your point, know the laws. And for like my young boys, I tell them, one, you got to know the laws. And then two, you literally now, you got to live your life like you on camera. Like you have to live your life like you on camera. That's whether it's a house party or in the gym or you at the mall or you at the cookout. You got to live your life like you on camera. And by doing that, that should minimize some of your stupidity. Like everything that you do, you unfortunately have to live your life as if you're being recorded. And if you do that, that should minimize some of the stupid shit you do. And then, because the thing about it is, in this day and age, in society, they track your phones. People getting RICOs, and they're looking at your activity, where you were on your phone, what location were you at, where the crime took place at. And everybody always recording, and it's hidden cameras everywhere. So you literally have to live your life like you're being recorded. And if you do that, that can minimize a lot of the stuff.
It could save your life.
It can save your life for sure. Yeah.
Which brings me to the next event, which was with Nolan Wells.
Yeah.
I feel like if he was streaming, doing what
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though the streaming gets on my nerves,
Mm-hmm.
24 hours streaming, you going to a party, people watching you at a party, but some of that, believe it or not, could save your
It
life.
could. It can. Exactly.
Could save your, it
Mm-hmm.
could literally save your life. So I'm looking at it like this. Imagine if Nolan Wells was just streaming
Mm-hmm.
and just showing everybody on the internet that he's having a good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's in that generation.
Yeah.
I'm not in that generation.
For sure not.
I'm not in that generation.
Yeah.
I'm not in that crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the 25 or older crowd. We're not really streaming because we have careers and jobs. We ain't trying to lose. So we're just there for different reasons.
Yeah.
But imagine if he was streaming. Would that situation be what it is now?
Yeah,
Where what happened?
I think that could have negated some of the potential. I think that could have negated some of the potential things that the attorneys would put up. Because if he's, let's say he was streaming and he was in his buddy's face and they giving him high fives and they dapping him up and they're showing all this love for each other, it'd be hard for you to say you don't know that guy. It'd be hard to say that y'all wasn't that cool. And they would be able to place all the people that he was around and saw them last to that particular scene of the crime. So it could have helped a little bit, for sure. For sure. And then, granted, they're saying that, and I hate to be, I try to, like I was telling you, I try to keep it on the facts. But they're saying that a lot of stuff was deleted off his phone. So we don't know what all was on his phone.
Wow. But if you were streaming.
But if you were streaming, it would be live. Yeah.
So streaming can save your life.
Yeah.
In this day and age. Mm-hmm. And this is my my argument right now for the young fellas out there. Streaming might save your life. Going live every once in a while, even though I find it annoying, in this day and age, it might save your life. It might put you away from the crime.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been talking about, like with these cameras, these flock cameras and stuff like that. These guys with the flock cameras, they can alter where you are here and there just with the camera. But if you're actually live streaming, you have witnesses.
Yeah.
If you live stream, now you got witnesses.
Yeah.
You got witnesses. Yeah. Everybody see what's going on.
Yeah.
And that could put you in a situation where you could get out of trouble.
Yeah.
In case anything sinister happens, in which you might need it. You just might need it, bro.
You're right. Cause
every time we step out that side of that door, we gotta actually have a plan to make sure we don't put ourselves in a situation where we might need a camera, we might need some surveillance, we might do we gotta put ourselves. And this has always been like my grandfather used to tell me. It's two things. You gotta watch out for these niggas. You gotta watch out for these police.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what he said. Every time you step out of the door, that's two. You know why you gotta watch out for the niggas, and you know why you gotta watch out for the police.
Yeah.
So you gotta always know where your exit's at, know your surroundings. Sometimes we'll play this little game. Even my dad, we'll play this little game where it's like, man, you seen that man in the red hat? I'm like, what man in the red hat? He ain't been watching your surroundings.
Exactly, yeah.
Because it's a guy in the red hat that you did not see. You ain't been watching your surroundings.
Yeah.
Tighten up. Yeah. It's kind of like, yo, I gotta. It got to the point where if I walk in the room, I can tell you how many people was in that room.
Yeah.
And if I'm really on point, I can tell you how many people left and came back. So that's what we gotta do. And I think the internet and the way people are with the phones makes it a little bit easier. But at the same time, we have to look like that. My whole thing with the Nolan Wells situation. Everything else, I know. Don't hang out with white kids. I get it. If you're the only black kid in the white kid group, we'll talk about it in a minute.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, cool. But what if you are? What are you gonna do to make sure you implicate yourself or make sure somebody got some kind of evidence.
Yeah.
The only thing you can do that I can see right now is going live. You gotta go live to make sure you know everybody know where you at.
Yeah.
At that point, even if you with a group of black kids or your own kind, you gotta go live.
You just got to be careful.
You gotta be careful.
Because what I was gonna say to the previous point, one thing that's unfortunate is we see a lot of black men do stupid stuff on camera. Like we see a lot of black men, teenagers and young boys. They do a lot of stupid stuff on camera and they're getting caught for it. So like with the flight cameras and like I said before, people doing things, whether it be the video from the gas station or the video from the Ring camera, like it's unfortunate when I see my people doing stupid crimes on camera. Like you sort of deserve it because and then we televise a lot of this stuff also. Like you talking about going live, I've seen lives where people, televise fights and record fights and stuff like that. So we do a horrible job at televising crimes, which is unfortunate. So, yeah, we got some work to do.
So, you saying we do a horrible job at televising crimes?
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind. Televise your crime. Televise it.
So you can get locked. Go ahead.
So not so you can get locked up, so the victims could get justice.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm with you.
So,
yeah.
You gotta understand, and I tell these kids all the time, you start fighting, it's a camera somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't understand how many times I done broke up a fight, and I look up, and it's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
And guess what? If you take the wrong movement or you restrain the wrong way, they can alter that. And I seen it. One of my coworkers, one of my bosses, they put her on the internet where they made it look like she was hitting a student when she was just trying to grab her and pull her back.
Gotcha.
But they reversed the camera and they was punching.
Oh wow!
They made it look like she was punching a kid.
Yeah.
Like bro,
that's crazy.
And my joke was, when you're breaking up fights, let them get tired a little bit, then break it up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But that was it. But
yeah,
I was just scared. I was like, bro. So now every time something go down, it's like, do I want to jump in? Do I want to? And it's crazy that we got to do that because we don't want to be implicated. Now I'm facing the charge. Because it's easy to see a camera and be like, you know what, we're finna charge everybody who was in this fight because you was in the camera throwing a punch. Or even if you was in the camera grabbing somebody, they're still going to say it's assault and you still got to go to jail. Or you still got to go to have your day in court. And I done been in situations where I'm like, bro, I'm innocent. It don't matter. Figure it out in court. If you got the footage, just show it in court. I'm like, bro, what? You can't figure this out right now. So it brings me to the point of it's a necessary evil right now, bro.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if Nolan Wells was out there streaming, we would have figured out what really happened. That's it. If he was out there streaming, we would have figured out what happened. Nobody could fight me on that.
Yeah.
You can't. That's the hill I'm gonna die on.
Or we would have had more details.
We would have had more details. We would have figured out what happened.
Yeah.
We would have figured out where he was. And on top of that, you sharing your location. I understand. Like when I was a couple years back, this woman I was dating, she was like, I'll share my location with my mom, my dad. I'm like, why you share your location with all those people? But it makes sense.
For sure.
And I started doing it.
For sure.
There's a couple people out here that has my location
for sure.
forever.
Yeah. It's important. And not to get too off the far subject, but I had some of my homegirls, if they go on a date with a guy, like I've had some of my homegirls, my little sisters, they'll text me like, hey, I'm sharing my location. I'm about to go out on the first date with this guy just to be safe. So yeah.
My sister is married, so so I don't have to do that no more. If she was, I would put all my stuff aside and be like, all right, I'm gonna make sure I'm close enough to location. But that's just me, because that's the protector in me.
For sure.
But I do think that's a beautiful thing. That's something we have to adopt in our culture where we share our location.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to share our locations with people that care about us and love us and will drop everything they're doing and come to our rescue.
Yeah.
If need be.
Mm-hmm.
Because even as a man, I will share my location.
For sure, yeah, I do.
Not for the purpose of come get me and protect me, but maybe I might need you as a witness.
For sure, yeah.
I wasn't there where they said I was there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I said, like I want to touch on the flock camera situation. You don't know where this shit is going.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I never liked it, but that's not my call. But it's something sinister about it, especially when it's been reports of they could alter the camera.
Yeah.
Now you cooking with fish grease, and when you cooking with fish grease, now what you got going on? So that makes a lot that brings it to something we don't know. We never crossed that. We already know that you could use AI to put you in a place.
Yeah.
You're here right now.
For sure.
But you could be on the other side of
Yeah.
AI could put you on the other side of Atlanta.
That's a fact.
Committing a crime.
That's a fact.
Now you fighting for your life.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. That's a
now,
fact.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know what I was gonna say earlier in regards to like I think in general, as far as like our teenagers and our kids and just in general, we just got to be safe, because like I said, if you find yourself, if a 18-year-old finds himself in the midst of a group of people and he's the only one of his same color, of his color, and then for whatever reason there's some tension that builds up, you have to know to be on your P's and Q's. Just like if it's a black person at a house party and there's some tension arising, you got to be on your P's and Q's. So the main thing is you just have to be careful, and especially when tension rises, you have to be cautious of your surroundings. So whether that be Nolan Wells or if he was been at a frat party with a whole bunch of HBCU kids, like just in general, you just have to be careful. And when you're in the midst of confrontation, in the midst of what you think is potential danger, you have to be cautious. You have to be able to let somebody know where you are, and just protect yourself as much as you can.
So, and this is, I'm finna be honest with you. This is something new to me. The deeper I think about it, the more we have to always pivot for us as black men. You get what I'm saying? At first it was say no to drugs, stay out the streets. It was that simple.
Yeah.
Now it's almost like you can't even go hang out.
You can hang out. You just got to be careful.
But it's even more careful.
For sure, because we unfortunately don't have the same privilege as our white counterparts.
So you think we lack privilege?
Yeah, for sure. In specifically in regards to the justice system, and specifically in regards to privilege as it relates to having grace when those matters come about.
So let me ask you this. Right. Since we don't have privilege.
So I said specifically based on those two avenues, because here's the thing about privilege. Everyone has privilege. Everyone has different layers of privilege. You know what I'm saying? The thing is how do we use that privilege? Like, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but as men, we have privilege. Like,
what kind of privilege we have as men?
Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example.
I'm gonna get on you right now.
Let me give you an example.
I don't feel like we have privilege at all.
Let me give you an example of male privilege. Male privilege is you can go to the gas station at midnight.
Yeah.
You can go to the gas station at 1 o'clock in the morning.
I can.
You can get gas at damn near any hour of the day, and I have no worries. A woman can't do that. There's women that literally do not get gas after it get dark.
Okay, I don't think women should get gas after it get dark.
Exactly, because they are they have the belief of, they'll be in danger. And I know, like I said, I know women that's close to me. And matter of fact, that's one of the avenues that made me realize that I have male privilege. Male privilege is we can walk by 3 guys and don't have no worries. We can walk by 3 6-foot muscular dudes with grills in their mouth, and we walk past them with no.
I ain't thinking about that. I ain't never thought about
Exactly, because that's the privilege that we have.
But get what though? My heart started beating a little bit fast. I walked by the police.
Exactly. So with that same thing in mind, when we're talking about privilege, like I say, I can get gas at night and I have no worries. A woman can't get gas at night and have worries. That's a privilege that I have. When I get pulled over, not even pulled over, if a police car comes behind me, I don't know what color the policeman is. If a police gets behind me, I'm going to get nervous. My heart is going to be a little bit. A white person can get pulled over by the police and not have no worries at all. That is a white privilege. Women have privilege. There's pretty privilege. Like there's every most people have some type of privilege. But what counts is, how are you using that privilege? Are you using that privilege for good or for evil?
All right, so let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
A white man get pulled over, he get annoyed. I don't get annoyed. When I get pulled over, I be like, Lord, I don't know. I just don't want to go to jail.
Exactly. I agree with you.
It's not, oh my God, he pulling me over. I'm trying to go home. No. If I get a ticket, cool. As long as I don't go to jail.
That's a win. Exactly.
Like a ticket is a win.
Exactly.
Okay, so we on the same page.
But that's an example of white privilege. Like white people don't have that same angst. White people don't have that same anxiety when they get pulled over. So that's white privilege on their side. And like I said, for men, privilege on our side is not being worried when we go to the gas station.
Oh yeah, I'm not. You know who I'm more worried about when I go to the gas station? Are the police. I'm not worried about.
For sure.
I'm not worried about people. I'm not worried about people at the gas station.
Yeah, we don't, like I said, we can walk down the street and we might not worry when we send somebody behind us. We may not, but a woman might. They might get worried when somebody gets behind them. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, privilege is in different levels of privilege.
So this, I don't know how I'm gonna say this, but how should young black men move in general from here on out? Because the world is changing.
Mm-hmm.
We got these flock cameras that we can't trust. We always got the police that we can't trust. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then we got the regular streets that we can't trust. Mm-hmm. Like, how should we move? I want to say that we could tell people to start streaming, but that's not realistic, right? Because I'm not gonna do that either. But as far as how should we move, as far as like, should we educate ourselves more? Should we stay in the house more? Because this is what's going on right now. What's really going on is we're not getting arrested like we used to get arrested for drugs and other little, So the laws are going to change. I honestly believe the laws are going to change to where they could arrest black men more.
True.
The numbers are in, and the numbers say we're not getting arrested that much no more. And they built all these prisons for us to get in.
Yeah, and I think it depends on what the laws are. Like, what are the laws that they're enforcing to that will specifically, be prone to more black men getting locked up. But as far as your question, I think, again, as far as the younger black men, 1, know the laws. 2, like I said, operate your life as if you are on camera. And 3,
you're literally on a camera though. True. Camera. You're on a camera that could alter you.
True.
Like,
true.
Bro, that like, when I think of camera, now I'm thinking, dang, they could take this camera and AI it.
So and then okay,
put it on AI.
And I get everything you saying with the flock cameras. I get it, and all of that is justified. But in general, like what are the things that are the most detriment to black men? What's the most thing that are the detriment to black boys? Like, I don't see a lot of black boys getting swept off the street for the flock cameras. But
Not yet.
But I do
Not yet.
see black men getting swept off the street on making decisions in regards to trying to be too tough, trying to commit crimes.
I believe that.
So, having big egos, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, using physical retaliation for verbal disrespect. I think that's a bigger problem. I think black men being able to only interpret verbal disrespect with violence is a bigger problem than any of that flock shit. If we can take care of that or minimize that, all of that other shit is secondary.
I can't, as a black man, I can't sit up here and say this. As a black man, respect is important.
For sure.
Let's
talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Respect is important.
Yeah.
If you disrespect me, it could go left.
We're talking about verbal disrespect now. We're talking about verbal disrespect. I'm specifically talking about verbal disrespect.
Verbal disrespect, yeah, it could go left.
So
first of all, you grew up in Atlanta. You know of plenty of stories where it was somebody verbally disrespected and lost their life.
For sure, exactly.
And that spirit is still alive and well, whether you want to acknowledge it or not.
That's my point.
You got to speak to that. You got to speak to that energy. And for example, and I don't want to say the wrong thing. Yes, it takes a lot of mental and emotional discipline to brush off that verbal disrespect. You know how many times?
Really, it don't. It really don't.
Bro, yes it do.
No, really, it don't.
Yes, it do.
Really don't. we've just been conditioned to think that that's the only way that we can respond to disrespect. We've been conditioned like that because
respond to disrespect is violence. That's
the main way that we've been conditioned to respond to verbal disrespect. Yes, you are completely correct. And let me get through these few layers because something that you said. I wonder if we were to interview all the niggas in jail, how many people are in jail and it initiated in verbal disrespect? That's for one. Two is we unfortunately, I hear this shit all the time. People will say that they'll die for their respect, which unfortunately is
T.I. said that too.
Which is a statement that has a foundation of hypermasculine negative energy. Because let's say you got a wife, 3 kids, and you said you willing to die for your you willing to die for your respect. That means you value your respect. No, excuse me. That means you value your ego more than you value your family. Because if you're willing to die for your respect and leave your wife and your 3 kids to fend for themselves because you felt disrespected, is possibly some of the most ignorant shit you can do.
All right, I gotta stop it right here. I agree with what you're saying. Because being the most alpha male version of yourself, if you have a family, that is your first priority.
There you go.
Now, I will die trying to protect my wife.
Now, that makes sense,
I will die trying to protect my family.
For sure, but what about over verbal disrespect? Would you die over verbal disrespect? It's taking you too long to answer that, my boy. It's taking you, and hey, look, and that's the problem.
You ain't give me a chance.
Nigga, that's a no. Because here's the thing about it. Let me tell you about
bro.
it. Let me give you another comparison. We've seen let me make this example. Hold that example. We've seen situations that go viral online where it be like a white guy and he might get disrespected or whatever the case is, and he might just curse or say, you're crossing the line, buddy. And we'll see people in the comments flooding the comment section talking about they wouldn't try me like that, or I'd never take that up. Yeah. We will laugh at somebody of another complexion that don't react the same as we do. And again, that's crazy. Like, so your other examples are going to be if somebody disrespects my wife, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm in a place and somebody disrespects my wife, we leaving. Simple. Because one thing about it is the people that have dated me, My wife, she's gonna know. She know what I'm about. Like she know what I'm willing to do to protect us. Verbally, that ain't shit. We've been conditioned the last 30, 40 years over this hyper masculine energy. The only way that we can respond to verbal disrespect is for violence. And that shit starts in elementary school. Your mama. Nigga talk about your mama, you ready to fight.
Yeah, I done been in a couple fights because somebody
Exactly.
said your mama.
Exactly. And that shit crazy. That's where it
It's
starts.
crazy.
We plant those
It's
seeds.
cold. You gonna know not to disrespect my mama.
That's crazy.
I can't. Ooh.
And again, you
I'm
so
trying
passionate.
to
Listen.
mature.
You so passionate about that shit because again, we've been conditioned to be hyper super masculine. Cause it shouldn't even piss you off like that. Like nigga, somebody talking about your mama, and that's what's going to cause you to physically put your hands on them. That shit is erroneous. Like that's crazy. And it starts in elementary school. It starts in middle school.
So what am I supposed to do if somebody talk crazy about my
talk
your
back?
Dumb, your mama ugly.
You join back. And then the other thing about it. So look, let me see here. All conversations don't need to be on the podcast, but it's like if you want to play chess, because here's the thing about it. Let me give you an example. We've been giving white folks free passes for a long time. We've been giving police free passes for a long time. And what I mean by that is, let's just say this. A white man can walk into a bar full of niggas, full of black people, call a black person a nigga. The black person gonna feel disrespected. He gonna strike the white person. The white person might just kill him. They're gonna call the police. The police gonna come. And again, there's cameras everywhere. They're gonna look at the footage. They're gonna see how you reacted. The white man gonna walk away free. And then you notice, and you know that's not even a crazy example, but like the fact that the N-word, that's our biggest trigger.
Verbal disrespect.
Verbal disrespect.
Not hold up in court. I understand.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then the thing about it is that verbal disrespect, you don't know how it's going to end. Because again, if you put your hands on me, let's say I'm talking shit with somebody. You put your hands on me, I'm going to interpret any type of physical violence in an attempt to my life. So I'm going to protect my life. So I'm not going around talking shit, starting shit. But again, I guess my main point is this: like, we have been conditioned that the only way we know how to react to verbal disrespect is violence. That's the only thing that we've been really conditioned to do. Black boys specifically, black men specifically, and that's our problem. Most niggas in jail, if you keep talking about it, more than likely there's a huge amount of people in jail that are in jail because the root started in some type of verbal disrespect. So, and what happens is you get verbally disrespected, depending on the crowd, depending on the audience, your ego is in the way. And you got to prove that you're a man. You got to prove you tough. So you got to do all this extra shit. Now you in jail with your kids. Now you in jail and your son say, yeah, my daddy in jail.
Manhood not important to you.
Yes. And that's being a man, knowing how to walk away from shit.
So being a man is knowing how to walk away from shit.
I
want to get this on wax.
For sure.
So being a man is knowing how to walk away from something.
One of the elements of being a real man is knowing how to walk away from situations. That is 1,000% correct.
All right.
1,000%.
So you picking and choosing your battles.
For sure.
All right. Cool.
Which we all should be doing.
Dang.
We should all be picking and choosing our battles. Like, again, there's not much that you can verbally say to me in which I'm going to physically put my hands on you.
You got a point. Like I always say, this has been another episode of Alphacology. I want to continue this later because there's a lot of points that's being hidden that we got to really unpack. But like I always say, this is not tea, it's protein.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you, my brother.
My guy.
You said some real stuff, and it hit deep because I'm still trying to mature.
For sure.
As a man. So we're trying to be the most alpha version of ourselves, and we're trying to walk in peace as well. Mm-hmm. So, like I always say, this is not tea, it's protein, and this is our segment for now. We're out of here. Peace out.